All right, we are live. Hi, everybody. Sarah Zolecki here. Guys, I am super excited to join you in this live. I've got my great girlfriend, Danielle, that is on tonight, and we are going to do a little chit chat. I figure, hey, let's jump online. Everybody in the world is online. So I love stories and I love getting a chance to people to kind of hang out and talk about all the good stuff that's happening in the world, right? There's a lot of other things going on, but I'm all about being that light and being out there and connecting with people. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I want to jump on some of these lives and I want to do some interviews with people and like talk about what are some good stuff out there. So Danielle, first of all, thanks for jumping on. I'm super excited to have you here tonight. And we're gonna have a lot of fun on this live.
Well, you're always fun. So I'm just excited to see you. So this is fantastic.
I know we're like virtual hug. I know a lot of you guys. I know you guys know what I'm talking about, right? So it is so good to you know what I'm so grateful for technology. I'll tell you that it's been so cool to be able to still stay connected with so many people and just it's just even like people my family as well, right? And so the beautiful part about having an online business is obviously the technology piece. I mean, I'm here in Minneapolis. You are actually all the way up in Newfoundland. Anybody that's watching has ever heard of Newfoundland? I'd heard of it. I'd like never been there. I was like, is that really a place? And oh my, what was that, Danielle? About a year and a half ago now? Would have it been where I went up there?
June of 2018. Yeah, June of 2018.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys, I have to tell you, if you've never been there, it's amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I could go any farther northeast than I was. I was way, way up there. But it was awesome. And I had such a good time. The hospitality was like just second to none. And I got to experience my first kitchen party. What else happened to me there?
You
Um,
kissed a cod.
Screeched it. Yeah, I kissed a cod. Yeah. I We had a blast. We had an
You went to
absolute blast.
Signal Hill, and
Yes,
near Blue over the mountain.
I almost I did. I didn't get to see what was I
You wanted
wanting
to
to
see
see that I didn't get to
Iceberg.
see? Oh, I wanted to see an iceberg. Did you guys know that in Newfoundland they have icebergs? Like mind blowing, right?
Beautiful.
And I wanted to see an iceberg, but I was a little bit too early or too late in the season? I can't remember.
Yeah, you're putting me on the spot now. I should know this. I think you were too early. I think you were too early.
I was too early. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was still awesome. It was still awesome. I had such a good time up there. And, I think that's the coolest thing about, being able to build an online business is the friendships that you get to meet, and you get to make, like, I would have never been able to experience Newfoundland if it wasn't for you. Right. And so enough about talking about Newfoundland. I want to talk about you tonight. So it was so cool because, I knew a little bit about your background. I mean, I know that you have you're an entertainer at heart. You're an incredible singer, an incredible songwriter, and I had a chance to experience that when I came up to Newfoundland. Because for those of you that don't really know what kitchen parties are, it's kind of like basically everyone's like, hey, bring an instrument, and like let's go hang out in someone's kitchen, and like let's sing all night long, right? Like I had never heard of that. And what was so crazy is I remember when Danielle first told me, I don't know if you remember this, but you told me, you're like, yeah, we're in the kitchen party and everyone's going to bring over an instrument and we're all going to play. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, people are probably going to bring like, I don't even know, some spoons, something like, I'm thinking, how good are these guys really? But like every freaking person was amazing. I was like, wow, that is so, I just had never experienced something like that where literally up in that just area of the world, it's incredible how many talented musicians there are up there. I mean, it blew me away.
A big part of everybody. You grow up on it, right? Everybody is musical or has some kind of musical bone in their body. Do you remember when the girl brought out the garbage bag and played the garbage bag?
Yeah, well, that's crazy. Yeah, that was crazy. I was like, I was looking for something else that I could throw your guys' way, that I could be like, I'm gonna throw these guys off. There's no way they can play this.
Yeah, and then
It's
the cheese
amazing.
grater came out, right? Like it was a cheese grater, it was a garbage bag, it was so much fun. So glad you got to experience
Yeah,
it.
Oh my God, it was awesome. It was awesome. So that was really cool because I really got to see just your heart and who you are. And I was like, oh my gosh, wow. Like I love this girl already, but like I'm so endeared to her just because I don't know, it's just the people aspect, right? For you and just, just who you are and how you're wired. So
Thank
tell me,
you.
so
Thank you.
let's talk a little bit of I this is all what whole reason we're doing this live is to celebrate you, and you've had tremendous success as a now online entrepreneur. And let's talk a little bit about your background. Tell me a little bit about kind of how you grew up, like, just your aspirations, your dreams, kind of like what transpired you to kind of being here today.
Sure, absolutely. It's one sentence kind of sums it up, and it's, little girl, big dreams. I grew up in a small town, Dunville, whoop, whoop, and just really blessed with great parents who truly believe that you could be whatever you want it to be. Your geography had nothing to do with it. Your height, because I'm pretty short, like nothing. You could be whatever you want it to be. So I was blessed with, parents who supported that, and so I always felt that there was no limit to what I could do. So, I left, the whole, like, left the small town, went to the big city and went to university and stuff like that. And that's where my love of music really developed. And I started a band, which, 18 years old now. And, it was really just always wanting more. And I had been my background is behavioral therapy. Worked with children with autism for 5 beautiful years, which led me into meeting different people. And before I found network marketing, I was working for a member of parliament, actually, and working as an assistant to a member of parliament. So pretty important job. It was pretty stressful at times, and most times. And it was just
Remember when I asked you what that was? I was like, Danielle, so like what does that actually really mean? Like what's that job title, right? And the only reason I say that is like how many of us like have ever had these like really long job titles and we're like, dude, I don't even know why it's that long. Like it really is like means this, right? It's
I was
like this big long thing. I was like, Danielle, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
But
And I
anyways,
don't even
it's
know if
fine.
I knew what that was. I don't even know if I knew. I'm just like,
It sounds important, right?
exactly. So yeah, so that was fun and stuff. It was challenging, but it was always, you hit a ceiling. Like you could never go beyond what the job title was. And that I found that, and I still find it very frustrating, because to me it's always about, how do we get better? How do we do more? How do we, and so I got frustrated, so to speak, in that, because you could never really go beyond what the job title was, right?
Mm-hmm.
And branching out was a little bit difficult. And then I got the most important title. I became mom, and that really changed my whole perspective on what success meant. And as I evolved, like, from leaving, starting university and getting into my music, and as I became an adult, I found the things that I loved the most, which was my music and my songwriting and just that social aspect. It started to get smaller and smaller as the bills and stuff got bigger and bigger, and the responsibilities got bigger and bigger. And so, when I became a mom, I really struggled with that, because I loved being a mom and I wanted to be a mom first. But then that left, like, having to go back to a job that no longer served my soul.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew it was like, I kept telling myself, like, somebody else wants this job, give it to them, right? Give it to them. But what would pay me the type of a federal government job? What would pay me that? What would give me that whole ability to be able to replace that salary and that lifestyle that we had grown to have? And so, that's when network marketing got introduced to me. And it was just like, wow, right? So
Yeah.
then I
So
got
what?
to,
So when you first got introduced to the business, what caught your eye? Like what made you go, "Wow, this is." Well, first of all, did you have any preconceived notions
oh
about network
yeah.
marketing?
I was like,
And how many of those, like when you first saw it, you're like, "Wow, I was so wrong," right? And what I
yeah,
thought.
I
Yeah.
thought, I said no for 3 years. I was like, no way, that's one of those things. I'm not doing that. Like, I'm too busy. I'm way too busy. I don't have enough time to do stuff like that. And so, you know, the thing
So
was,
what was one of those? What are one of those things? Like what was in your brain when you're like, it's one of those things? Like, did you even really know what that meant,
not a
or
clue,
were
not a
you just
clue.
saying it?
and not a clue.
Mhm.
And that's why, to me now, why I'm so passionate about this industry, because education, educating people about what it is. I had no idea, but I just knew it was one of those things that,
Yeah.
women do if they're bored. You're like, what? No, it's one of those
Like
things
last
women,
resort. They're like, if you have nothing else to do, then you should do network marketing,
right, right?
which is crazy to me. Like, I
Which
just
it
like,
is.
what?
I know. And now that I know, right? And that's why I'm
Yeah.
so passionate about telling people what it is, because it's breaking down that barrier. Because what I realized that as I got to know it, and I'll never forget, and I'm going to just kind of drop something here. Eric Worre, when I was Googling network marketing, came across him, there was just this elegant way of describing the industry. And I went, oh my gosh, I have struggled with title and hitting a ceiling and wanting, more, like wanting a bigger salary. But of course, you're only worth what the job title is worth, right? And so
Yeah.
what I was seeing was that everyday people were succeeding in this type of an industry. And I went, oh my gosh, what if this is what I've been saying no to? Is what if this is exactly what I've been looking for, right? And
Mhm.
so then as I got to
Totally.
educate myself on it and realize that it's really all about intentional time versus a whole lot of time, then it
Yeah.
just became really, it almost like I just got obsessed. I got
Yeah.
obsessed with it,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Well, and I think, I love that you even bring up the word obsessed, because I think a lot of times people look at the word obsessed and they think it's like a bad word, right? They look at it negatively, when I'm like, guys, like, that's not a bad thing. Like, anybody that's really great at something, no matter what it is, whether it's being the best musician or whatever their craft is, or an incredible athlete or whatever, like, you have to be willing to get a little bit obsessed
Yeah,
about it, right? You can't just be like, well, I expect to be great at something, but I'm going to dip my toe in, right? There's no way that you're ever really going to be able to achieve just the things that you want in your mind by just kind of like, dipping your toe and hanging out and seeing how it works, type of thing, right? So
right.
so here we are. So you and I, we get a chance to work together, right? Every single day, which is incredible. We both promote an online retail brand, and I tell people it's all about clean living, which, has always been really important. I think over the last, just even probably 5 years, maybe even the last decade, it's, people are more and more aware of just everything they're putting on their body, what they're, people are reading labels. Like, people aren't just saying, hey, I'll eat that, or hey, I'll just use that. I mean, people are, like you said, they're educated. They're educating themselves, self-education, right? So smart. And, so we represent this incredible brand. And, I mean, I think for you, I mean, you have been, going, you know, like gangbusters, doing some great, great things. And, I'd love to hear kind of a little bit about, like, I don't know, what made you fall in love with the brand? Like, what do you love about working online? Obviously now, like, I mean, everyone's home, so everyone's online.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, that obviously is a big reason. But, for yourself personally, even maybe even reflecting on it, what, I mean, tell me a little bit about, like, just your thoughts on the whole thing, on the business model.
Well, for me, it was exactly that. It was the business model, because I hadn't tried a product when I signed up for this, because I looked at the business model and was blown away by the simplicity. It was a very simple system to look at. And I went, this makes sense. Like, this is the way
Mhm.
retail giants are doing it. Like this, like, absolutely, this makes sense to me, because the reality is I love being online. Like, I do. I love it. I love connecting with people. I'm a social butterfly. So this, in today's world, when everybody's so busy, it's so easy to connect with people. And send a hello and do that kind of thing. And when I looked at this model of sharing, codes and stuff, it was just like, this is simple, and I can
Mhm.
still be present for my family, which is,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, what I wanted. I wanted to be the mom at the bus. I wanted to be able, if my kid was sick, to be at home. I wanted to be able to, take time and just drop everything if I had to and go be mom. Because again, once I got that title, that was the number one thing for me. And I
Mhm.
knew a lot of other options wouldn't allow that to happen so easily. Right. So when I looked at the simplicity of it, and I could really work it into my day versus the
Mhm.
way it used to be, which was, work my family and stuff around my job. That was heartbreaking for me, it really was. So the fact that I could take something like this, a model like this, and be able to fit it in around the important things of my life made me so excited. And the fact that it was all online meant it didn't matter where I went. If I had my cell phone and a connection, then I was good to go, right? And as you
Exactly.
said, and of course when the products came and I was like, oh, these are amazing. Woohoo, bonus, right? These things are amazing. It became, again, that passion grew because I truly believe that in this day and age, people are very conscious. Consumers are very educated on what they're putting in their body. So the fact that I have, products that are, second to none, and a simplicity of sharing those, it was a win-win situation for me, right? So yeah.
Mhm. Well, I think the online thing is so big too, right? I mean, I was outside earlier today and obviously we had the 6 foot rule that with our neighbors and everything, but they were, it's kind of like, hey, how you doing? Type of thing. And they were like, how are you guys doing? Like, are you guys surviving and what's happening? Where everyone's checking in on each other, right? And I'm like, we're doing good, and they're like, yeah, well, you're at home now. And I said, yeah, but I don't know if you know, like we always are home. Like
Right, right.
we run an online business, from our house. And they were like, oh wow, and they're like, oh, is it hard because you're juggling your kids, what have you? And I'm like, yeah, it's a little bit of a challenge. I think anybody, no matter what, we're
Right.
figuring it out. But the fact that I can work my online business in the nooks and crannies of my kids' schedule now that we've got online school, right? Like I can
Right.
work it in the nooks and crannies of that because we've got obviously incredible Facebook groups that we can utilize as great, resources for us, etc. I'm like, we're good, and they're like, wow, like that's a great thing, right? And I think more and more people now are really open because they're like, hey, number one, I need to do something online. Number two, I'm some people are actually kind of bored. They're like, I'm actually kind of bored. They don't
Yeah.
have the crazy kids like we have. They're like, I'm at home and I watch everything on Netflix. So I'm like, God, I would love that life, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
haven't really caught up on anything on Netflix. I mean, by the
Yeah.
time I want to watch something, I'm exhausted. I go to bed. I'm like, I can watch a movie or go to sleep. I'm going to sleep.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, the one thing I want to say there, because you kind of just touched on it, is the, again, not to dwell on times like this, but because of the personal development that I have done, with these online businesses and the community of like-minded, positive people, I feel like so equipped right now. I feel so able to, be there for other people. And, I'm not stressing about a job, so to speak, or being laid off. It's something that has it has a life, no matter what the circumstance is. Because again, it's health and wellness. I mean, this is a huge industry, right?
Yeah.
And it's the fact that it is online and people are turning there online. It's so comforting to know that I've got a community of support there, that I've been able to build up that personal growth and development and be able to really step forward at times like this, and share it with other people. And
Mhm.
people are more open to hearing about it now because they see the benefit of it, right? So,
Yeah, definitely. Well, and the reality is too, it is like I touched on, is that people do need to make money, you
mhm,
know? I
absolutely.
look at the millions and millions of people here in the United States that have filed for unemployment, and that breaks my heart, but they need to do what they need to do right now. But I'm also like, oh my gosh, like we have a great opportunity for them, right? Where they can do something super part-time, get started on a shoestring, with us, right? They get paid twice a day,
Yeah,
right? Which
yeah,
is amazing for
I love
people,
that. It
right?
helps.
Which
It
is
helps.
great because the reality is, guess what? Someone needs to pay for a light bill. Someone needs to order diapers. Someone needs to, you know what I mean? Like those necessities right now, and always, they're always those are necessities, but they have the ability where people can actually go out and refer someone to an amazing brand. That person gets a great deal on it. We have the ability to earn some income on that. We can get paid daily, direct deposit into our account and
Absolutely.
help take care of our family, right?
Absolutely. And
And
be there.
like to
Yeah.
me, I'm like, oh my gosh, it really it's a blessing, I mean, it's a simple thing that people can plug into. And I feel that, I was sharing with someone the other day, they said, hey, what are you grateful for? And I'm like, I'm grateful that I get to be a light.
Mhm. Yeah,
That's what I'm grateful for right now. And
absolutely.
so I'm grateful that I, because I'm involved in this business, like I do feel that I have an obligation to be a light out there, to let people know, hey, listen, like, let me help you get in a, if you're not in a good place now, like, let me help you get in a good place.
Yes.
Let me help you get in a place. If you don't feel safe right now, let me help you get in a place where you do feel safe,
And yeah,
right?
and that's it, right? And when you look at it like this, because it's a simple model, and it doesn't, because people don't really understand that it's not a 40-hour a week thing. Like, this is
Exactly.
super part-time. It's super part-time. And so for some people, this might be that solution that keeps them sane, that keeps them
Yeah,
afloat, that helps them through this, because we're going to come out of this. We are going to come out of this.
totally.
Right? And
Totally.
the fear is what happens from here to here to those people that don't have that lifeline, that don't have that plan B. And so that's why, it's like at this time, it's really like, even if it's a temporary thing, I can almost
Yeah.
guarantee it won't be temporary, because once you come in and you feel that, and you feel that the positivity and the culture and all that, it's a plan B that for me turned into a plan A, when I
Yeah.
needed it. And I mean that, like, it turned into something, and it's changed me as a person, because that, like that little girl, little girl, big dreams. I realized that everything I felt inside me, that I was meant for more and that I could get it. I just had to I had to go until I found it, to find it. And, I'm 40. That's young in my book. It's young to find it and be able to embrace it and still know that, like, I'm in this for the long haul,
Yeah.
and to be able to give that to other people, like Sarah, like, that's a blessing. It's a blessing. It's
Yeah.
a blessing.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Well, oh my gosh, I love you. I'm so grateful for our friendship, and I'm so grateful that we get to go out there and be a light and impact a lot of people, right? And
Absolutely.
some of you guys that are watching, maybe you're watching this on Danielle's wall and you want more information, get plugged in with her. Maybe you're watching this on my wall, get plugged in with me. Maybe somebody shared this out, get connected with them and they can help you, get you some more information in regards to the brand that we're promoting and kind of what we do with our online business and so forth. But if anything, hopefully we're, even if anything else, I hope that we're a light to you guys, to be encouraged, to be like, oh my gosh, there is a lot of good in the world. There is a lot of good things happening. We are getting through this together. I mean, it's amazing to see just the impact in, not just in the United States, but also in Canada and all over the world, of people coming together. You know what I mean? Slowing down a
Beautiful.
little bit, coming together. You know what I mean? Really, just being a light. You know what I mean? I keep coming back, that is so important and so needed. And I'm blessed that we have a viable option, that's
Absolutely.
right there for everybody. So do you have any like last words or final comments or anything you want to say
Well,
before we wrap
I love you. I love you. I'm grateful for you. I prayed for someone like you to come into my life, and I'm so
up?
grateful that you did. And I think the only thing I want to say is that, we are going to get through this, and
Yeah,
there are options out there. So let the barrier down. Take the time to connect with people, that if it interests you, have a look at it, because there's a way to get through this. And I'm a big believer in faith. And
yeah,
if you're seeing this and you're feeling something, then maybe it's because you're supposed to see this,
yeah,
So anyway,
yeah,
I love you. I love you
yeah.
so much.
I love you. Well, thanks everybody for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you, Danielle.
Love you.
Love ya.
Mwah.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Talk to you later.